Yeah. Let's say attendees 0.
Yep. It's gonna be a quick one, guys.
So I think that's gonna be that.
Well, if he joins in, we have a quorum, so if he joins in, he joins in. All right, I'll call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7:02 PM, and I will seat Goodrich as a full member.
Oh,
you-
there he is.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta come over to canvas.
while you're doing that, would
Yeah.
you read the call?
I would be delighted.
Thank you.
The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 16th, 2024 at 7 PM at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HDC 24-0049, 15 Water Street, Daniel Miser, owner applicant. Signage, PIN number 261918306108. HDC 24-0050, 17 Gravel Street. Brian Kent applicant, Jennifer Grace owner, pergola and fence, PIN number 261918411577. HDC 24-0051, 9 Grove Avenue, Courtney Peck owner, Karen Schwer applicant, exterior renovations, PIN number 261914420839. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection online and during normal business hours at the planning department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 9th day of July, 2024 at Groton, Connecticut. Kirsten Packa, acting secretary.
Thank you. I will waive the hearing procedures, and if anyone wants to read them, they're over next to Peter on the yellow page. And we will jump right into public hearings. HTC 24-0046 is 15 Ice House Lane. This is withdrawn. Moving on to HTC 24-0049, 15 Water Street. This is also withdrawn. Moving on to HTC 24-0050, 17 Gravel Street.
You think I need a easel for a board? I can just hold it up.
No, actually, if you're gonna put it right there and that thing will,
We're gonna owl you in.
Perfect.
yeah,
All right.
first you're gonna flip it.
Not on.
Oh, wait a minute. I think you're gonna flip the other way. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
Good evening. My name is Brian Kent. I'm a landscape architect with Kent and Frost Landscape Architecture located at 1 High Street, Mystic. I'm here tonight representing Jennifer Grace, owner of 17 Gravel Street, and her application for a certificate of appropriateness for a wooden pergola and a metal pool fence. Before you, I've displayed the site plan that shows the existing conditions of the site and the proposed pergola. So existing is the house, which is nearing completion of construction, an accessory garage also nearing completion, a driveway along the south edge, and a small courtyard between the two structures, within which is proposed a wooden pergola with fiberglass columns encasing steel posts for structure. These images on the there we go. On the right of your screen
Just to ask you one quick question.
Sure.
Is it even visible from the road?
So it is visible from the road. So this photograph is taken from Gravel Street. And only part of it is visible. What you're seeing on the right side is the house under construction, and then in the background is the garage, and the pergola will be in the space between. So
Okay.
you'll see a little bit of it. So
Okay.
yes, but not from Pearl Street. So you can't see it from Pearl Street. Okay?
How about the pool fence? It doesn't look like it would be visible from the street, or will it?
No, it's a black fence. It's 4.5 feet high. And it's surrounded by vegetation, not that you consider that, but nevertheless, it's very low visibility, that fence. So I have images.
Do you want to just have us approve or deny the whole thing, and then that way at least it's done? Just in.
Of course,
Okay,
of course.
I was gonna say you didn't need to, but okay.
Do you want me to show these? You have them in your packet. There's images of a very similar pergola at 2 Star Street, which is 2 blocks away, that we designed about 10 years ago and had built. And there is here images of the black metal pool fence. So those are my exhibits. And then I've got a material list, but it's just wood and aluminum fencing, fiberglass. Well, so I think I'm complete.
Yeah,
Only question is the neighbors, you run by the neighbors at all? I know this project's kind of a little high profile. It's not required, but
Well, the
neighbors
neighbors,
complaining tend to be the fly in our ointment.
no, not at all. The neighbor
Right.
properties contain fencing of their own, as you can see on the south side, that fence, and then north side neighbor has rows of arborvitae's, a garage building. And then this applicant has a previously approved certificate of occupancy for a 6 foot tall cedar fence on the north boundary. So that's already been approved on the north boundary, and really, so I think everybody is happy with what's going on. in this project.
aluminum fence isn't on the property line either,
Yeah,
so.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I don't even think the fence should be part of it. You can't see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but for safety's sake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't have anything. Do you
I
have
don't.
anything?
Okay,
Nor I.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Sorry.
Didn't check in to see if you could hear you. Thank you for.
The only thing, is there some height on the pergola?
yeah, the pergola is about 9 feet. So let's see if we have a height on this drawing. I don't have a height on
No,
this.
but I think you're gonna make it 20 foot. pergola.
So it's 8 feet to the ceiling of the pergola. And they're gonna have some ceiling fans in there, so that has to be at least that high. And then the rack is about a 12 to 18 inch assemblage of wood. So you're looking at under 10 feet or around 10 feet.
So if we make a motion. Yeah, I think it's fine.
So you just said they are gonna have fans in there. Do we need to see, is that part of this certificate of appropriateness?
It's residential.
Okay, thank you.
I think to be on the safe side, 10'6" would be more than adequate.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you need to put a height limit on it,
Yeah,
that's part of your reg.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you. Does anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Oh, sorry, Bill, did you have anything?
No, I'll chime in if I have something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sorry. Anyone in the audience have anything to say against the application? All right, HTC 24-0050 is closed. HTC 24-00519 Grove Ave. Really here? Hi. You-
Good evening. My name is Karen Schwer, and I am the secretary and bookkeeper for CV Home Improvements. This is Carlos Valdez. He's the owner of the company and the principal carpenter for CV Home Improvements. We're based out of North Stonington and also Westerly. So we are registered in both states. We're here representing the homeowner, Courtney Peck, who has a historic home on 9 Grove Avenue that has a siding issue as you're facing the house to the right side. I'll let Carlos speak to that, but we were advised by Susan in the building department, seeing the homeowner would like to do different things to the property as funds are available in phases, that we have everything be disclosed with the certificate of appropriateness. So as she needs to do other projects and contacts CV Home Improvements, she'll have that 5 years of everything disclosed, and we can pull the permits as needed. So Carlos can let you know what she needs to do as far as the siding that is having the issues.
Hello. So what we need to do for that place is remove the siding and all the trim because it's very bad. And we gonna use the same material, which is red cedar and pine trim, 5/4 trim board.
Karen, can I just interrupt you for 1 second?
Sure.
When you're displaying the photos, if you could just
Yep.
orient them, so they're
Oh,
correct on the screen for both
Okay.
of you. I appreciate it.
It's like a puzzle.
Don't turn them over.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's
I wasn't
okay.
clear on that.
So just to save you time, if you're just replacing the cedar siding with cedar siding and
If-
you're replacing the wood trim with wood trim,
correct.
I don't think you need to be here.
The other thing she wanted to do at a future date has to do with the doors. And we were of the understanding that that's definitely something we should discuss with you at this meeting. Her doors are in pretty bad shape. The one on the front of the house, the front door does have a screen storm door. And it has the main door itself. And then there is another front door, which is
There you go.
that picture right there. So that faces the street, main door with a storm door, and then the little side front door as well. This one is her back door to her, it's not visible from the street, and it has a storm door. So in discussing with Carlos, and when I went to take pictures, these are not in good shape. They're very drafty, and Carlos has the ability to reproduce doors in his shop. And she would like to have these reproduced at a future date, same hardware. The only thing she asked, she's not fond of the color. She wanted to know if a darker blue would be acceptable for the door and
You
trim.
can paint it any color
Any
you
color
want.
you want.
You can,
So, and if you're gonna remake those doors out of wood, you can have at it. Enjoy.
because she wants to keep the same style.
same style,
She
yeah.
just, again, we were advised by
If it-
Susan to disclose
it's
all of this.
Like for like, so like wood to wood,
Mhm.
Yeah.
cedar trim to cedar trim. You can do all of it.
Wood
Same
door
thing
to
with
wood
the
door,
doors,
yeah.
wood door to wood door. You
Okay,
just technically can't change the door look. If
exactly.
hypothetically she did want to change it, just come back and ask us for.
Okay.
approval.
So she would, to be able to do siding as funds are available, the doors at a future date, just changing the color and reproducing what is here. She could get a 5-year, whatever you call it, certificate of
You don't need it-
appropriateness.
Need it.
You
can-
don't need it.
No, you can just,
Okay,
right? I don't,
It's like for like,
Typical building permit only.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, if you're not changing the styles or any kind of details, if it's like for like material, like if she decided the front door, if she decided if it was, for instance, if it was 9 light, if she wanted it like wood, solid wood panel, eliminating the glass or something like that, then she should come back and
Okay.
and present. If it's an exact replica of what's there, then it's
Okay.
just typical building permit.
well, it is a future.
Yeah.
She
Yep.
could
Mhm.
change her mind. I
Right,
did send her the different sections that pertain to doors and storm doors. And the example you had of appropriate doors for the age of the house. So she does have all that information
Sure.
as well.
storm doors, you can do whatever you want to. That's not, we don't regulate storm doors.
Okay,
and if you have,
So-
if throughout the process, if you have any questions as to whether or not you think you need to come, you can email me.
Okay.
email Susan and forward it to me and I'll look at it and say, yeah, we should probably get in front of you should probably bring that in front of the board or, no, I think
Okay.
you're safe.
Don't replace the cedar with vinyl. Don't replace the
Exactly.
Yeah.
wood with PVC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really the only.
So you didn't need to see the samples. I did send all that through your online website. Okay.
So I'll just make a motion to withdraw your application. Because you don't need to be here.
You don't need it. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want me to second that motion?
Yeah. if you-
Yeah, Goodrich second,
All in favor?
Paca, I.
Goodman, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bill,
you.
Ferguson, I. Ferguson, I.
thank you. All right, so I will close the public hearings and move on to consideration of public hearings. The only one that we have is HTC 24-0050, 17 Gravel Street. This is the pergola and the fence. So I will make a motion to approve, so long as the pergola is not over 10'6" and the fence is not over.
48.
Well, no, it was 54 inches, so not over 60 inches or 5 feet.
Okay.
Goodrich second,
Paca, I.
All in favor, sorry.
Paca, I.
Goodman, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Thank you. HTC 24-0050 is approved. All right, that was quick. Pre-application. You guys here first?
What are you guys here for?
We were here for the application, they said come back,
Okay,
they haven't seen,
okay.
you approval or.
Because I'm guessing you came back to further present in pre-application because you don't have an application in yet. Is that what you guys were doing?
I thought we had everything in.
No, you don't have an application in yet. You have to submit an application to have a public hearing. You submitted for a building permit, you came for a pre-app last week,
Yeah,
and I can't remember if you had everything or you were gonna come back with some additional material under pre-app or,
We had everything for the.
for the
window.
windows,
okay,
but we wanted to put the siding on.
okay, so you're gonna do the siding under pre-app tonight? Because you don't have an HDC application in yet where we could have legally noticed and had a public hearing. You have not submitted that yet.
I'm just doing what you guys told me to do. So come back on the 16th.
Okay,
last week. I
okay.
didn't know I'm supposed to, I thought everything we did was in the records already. I thought we filled out an application.
I don't think so.
You gotta do it online.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, but you're wrong. I think Bill, who was running the meeting last time, said you had to like Thursday to submit your application
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, 'cause I talked to Susan this afternoon because when I saw that you were not on the agenda, I said,
Yeah.
did Ashby come in? And she said, no, we never got an application for him.
And then we're doing, supposed to,
Yeah, you have to fill out an application and get on the agenda.
all right, so what do I have to do? now?
So if you want to do pre-app tonight to include the siding, which you didn't have the details of last time, you could do that, get an input from these guys on that. And then you should get your HDC application in by Thursday, the latest, so you can be on the August 6th meeting.
I obviously would have done this if I knew.
Yeah.
All right, well, we might as well do August 6th.
Yeah. So is there a pre-app list?
Did you guys sign up on the pre-app list?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He had 54.
But I don't understand. I put all the information in. There was the application, we did everything.
What's,
You went on the online portal and did all that?
Did with her, right out here. Came right in, she walked me through everything.
You can't, you gotta do it online.
well, no, we have a kiosk out here that they can do it on.
On the computer.
Out here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
I mean, I came in there 3 times. And she told me just show up for the 16th. I mean, if I was supposed to do something, I would have done it.
And she's texting me right now. So you've done a building permit. You've done a building permit application, but you haven't done an HDC application yet.
Okay, all right,
So it's two
Yeah,
different
they're
things.
two separate.
all right.
That's two separate things. I can't issue a building permit I can't issue a building permit until you have an HDC approval. For the scope of work.
All right. And we do that online?
Yes, just like your building permit, except it's an HDC instead of a BLD.
Well, this is the signing.
All right. Anyways, I guess do we need to even talk about the windows at all?
I think if you want to revisit it, you can. I think last time you presented the windows and I'm not sure if there was any questions or hesitations.
I mean, if you want to run it by Eric real quick, I know some
Yeah, Eric
people-
was not here, so.
I know some people don't like the type of grills that are in there. I don't know if you have a feeling one way or the other. Eric.
I don't even know what it is.
It's 1 Ashby Street. It's an apartment building on the corner of,
No, I know your place.
yeah.
But I don't know what you're doing because I wasn't.
Oh, I thought everything we had was on, she submitted everything, so we could just put it all up on here.
Replacing all the windows.
Yeah,
With what?
well,
Eric was not here last.
yeah,
Yeah, so if you want to start over like you never presented
Okay,
at last,
no
the last
problem.
meeting, probably the best.
I hired a builder to come over and put windows in and to do siding. Well, to make a long story short, he started the windows. We ordered all the windows and everything. And then I guess someone, so he was supposed to get a permit. He didn't get a permit.
Yeah.
So we came back, we talked to the girl up front
Went on the computer.
and went on and submitted everything. Here are the windows here. Because we had all the pictures of the whole place and that she told me she submitted in here that we would,
Physical.
yeah, right here. Here we go.
But that was in regards to the windows. It was not in regards to the siding.
Right. The windows are our main concern.
But you want to go to I'm sorry, but you want to go to a vinyl window? I don't think the commission's gonna vote for it. I can just tell you that.
Is that what these are? Is that what he ordered?
Yeah, it's a vinyl window.
I thought that was wood.
It's not.
Eric, I believe half of them are already installed. This was a cease and desist.
Yeah, but the commission's taken a pretty strong stance against vinyl windows, except in the application of like a Marvin Elevate or the Anderson, 400 series or something like that.
He made a point.
Yeah. I'm not contradicting you. I'm just trying to give you a little more background because.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
That's all.
and Bill, we brought that up. We knew he put them in. We knew he ordered the windows, but I think I said too, we may not approve them. You know, I said that the commission may have issue with the windows.
Yes.
You know what, I just want to be code. And whatever I have to do. I mean, it's an apartment building, it looks terrible, I'm just trying to make it look nice for my tenants.
Fortunately, I think these windows are gonna make it look worse.
Well, those windows in there are about 80 years old. So I mean, literally, the weather goes right through them. And the siding is all asbestos. So, you know, we'd like to put nice siding up. I'm just trying to make the property look better. And I just want to, whatever you guys want me to put up there, I'll put up there. But if this is frustrating to come in here and I didn't know I was supposed to do the other thing and I just, whatever you guys need, I'll do. I'm not trying to like pull anything over. I hired a builder to go in there and do it. I don't know.
I know, and like I said, I suspected there might be issues with the windows last time, which is what I said. I said that you already ordered and paid for them too, but like Eric said, it's not something we typically approve, and that's what I was trying to probably hint at last time.
Well, what type of windows are you looking for? For
A fiberglass or aluminum clad or wood, but no one really does wood anymore, so
I don't know what I'm gonna do though.
return them.
So pull them all out and return them?
If the commission votes that way. But do you have a feeling?
I know we don't usually approve them. That's why I said that to him last time.
These were all the custom ordered windows.
Yeah, these are custom windows.
I mean, I feel for him because but I also don't think that if we start a precedent of allowing these, we're just gonna find ourselves in a position where down the road, we have to, continue to allow them and they're not.
And that's my feeling too. I'm sensitive to the money he spent, but we allow him, then it's gonna be a line of people out the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's a vinyl window. It goes against everything in the handbook and everything.
I know.
that
And
we've
like, that's
approved.
why I sort of,
I mean, I'm sorry, like
Okay. I'm gonna have a little talk with my builder, but. Cause I mean, I don't. Now, what about the siding? What type of siding is allowed?
cedar, boral composite.
What about this right here? Is this allowed? This right here, this stuff?
Probably not.
'Cause this is what my buddy has in front of his store in Mystic downtown, his restaurant.
Who?
Leo.
Leo doesn't have that.
Yeah, he's got the,
I don't think it's that particular product, but I think he has a Hardy on there, doesn't he?
Hardy,
On one
yeah.
section, yeah.
that's what this is.
That's not Hardy.
James Hardy.
I think it's just a different style, Eric, or a different
What else
line,
did they
profile
have?
line.
So Hardy, something.
I mean, if you want to go for 4/4 and cedar, boral, Hardy, normal Hardy, or even AZAC now is making a paintable
right.
4/4 colonial siding. I would think that would be fine, but
So this,
that to me looks like a vinyl siding. It's just.
but it's not vinyl. Might look like vinyl, but it's not vinyl.
Isn't.
Eric, is there a detail on there where it's made to be installed in a 4-inch reveal instead of a? Really, what does he have, like a 6 there?
It's a 7.
That's James Hardy, that's it right there.
That's not this.
That's what he
He
gets.
said they were replacement windows. And it goes inside the wooden frame, but they are like a composite and not a wood.
Right, they're vinyl. That's what they were questioning.
They don't like that.
Well, maybe that's not, but this is what I ordered.
Wait, that's not this though.
This is what I want. And I have a receipt for it too. I haven't paid for it. But where's that in here?
Yeah,
When you're done, sorry.
absolutely.
I don't even know who makes this. Chelsea Building Products?
What store where'd he go? No, Rings End. But where's the receipt? Is there a receipt for the whole? So I know, for the siding, that'll probably give it a little more detail. Somewhere.
This is,
I'm looking for
this is Hardy. This is what you have with that. This stuff.
I'm just handing you what he gave me. But where's it? There's a. Yeah, this. Which one is this?
That's this Everlast, I think.
This is the one that's right.
Okay, so these two here, we approve, these two Hardy planks. And I suppose we'd consider the other stuff, but those two we generally approve often. As an alternative to boral or AZAC or cedar, if you don't want to use cedar.
Okay, what exactly is this?
I don't know. Everlast or, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out.
It would have helped if you came here with us.
You ever heard of this stuff? I don't know. what it is.
No, not familiar with it.
So it sounds like it's this right here, whatever this is.
Yeah,
Advanced composite siding. Is that not? You cannot put that on a
That's up to
Oh.
these guys.
I just want to know what I could put on there, so I'm done.
So that'll last
Cause I'm
forever.
done spinning my wheels here with, you know, what I could
You
do.
realize you're in a historic district,
Yes.
right? So it has to
No,
flow.
I understand that.
Yeah,
So it may last forever, but a lot of the siding and a lot of the houses has been here for 300 years.
I understand.
So
Well, that asbestos hasn't been there for 300 years.
it has not, no.
I'm just trying to improve the property. That's all I'm trying to do.
I have no idea what this stuff even is. To me, it looks like a vinyl product, which we wouldn't approve.
You told me it's absolutely not vinyl.
Can I see the sample board? We chair.
It's an acrylic color and layer substrate. So it's
What-
acrylic.
Yeah, but what is it?
Made by combining
there we go.
polymer resins and acrylic, so it's
So it's like a vinyl.
like a vinyl. It's a
Plastic.
it's a plastic product, yes.
That's fine.
Made
I
of
mean, if it's not
polymetric
approved, I don't
resin.
care. I mean, because I haven't bought it.
Yeah, so if I
I
think
just need to know exactly what I can buy. And you circled, where were they on here? Which ones I can, and I know I'll get approved on it.
the hardy plank,
So this here,
yeah,
this is good.
Yep.
Either one of these.
Yep.
All right, John. Already, this is what we're looking at.
This is all right.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about the windows here.
wait. You need to come back and put an application in for the windows, the siding and the trim. The whole thing, include all the information and all the details. So you're more than welcome to put whatever you want in, including the windows that you have. I'm just telling you, you're gonna probably not get. It's probably gonna, based upon the comments, probably gonna receive a no vote, which would
Yeah.
mean you're just further delayed. So I would look at Marvin Elevate. I would look at Anderson 400s. I'd look at Harvey makes a fiberglass window, but we don't approve, and we have not approved, at least since I've been on this.
So the ones in there gotta come out?
If we deny.
If we deny the
yes.
application, yeah.
And you don't think it's gonna be approved?
no, it sounds like it is gonna be.
Well, historically, the commission is not favorable toward vinyl windows or grills between the glass.
Oh, I didn't even know it's that.
Yeah,
too.
that was what I
These
was gonna
have-
tell
these are
you.
Grills between the
Yeah,
glass.
so. I can't tell you no, because we're not voting on it,
Right.
but it is highly unlikely.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
If you want this too.
Thanks, guys.
Do you guys want this?
Gentlemen, do you want your paperwork?
Peter? Do you have something that's approvable?
These are just pre-app. So, if that's okay.
Thank you.
So is the process now, even the pre-app steps should be submitted online before we come in?
No, it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
What happens a lot of times is people come in after the deadline, and they have all kinds of paperwork, so they start an application, even though they're post the submittal date. So we take it in and we start the permit form.
Okay.
So.
Right.
I will jump back. We should have made a motion
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
to,
We
made
should
a
be able
motion
to
to
add it, we
add
forgot.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, it's
as-
on, he signed on the list, so. But yeah, you probably should have,
Well, we could,
or at least open up, I mean, you did open up pre-apps and there's, a list, so.
but this gets that whole fight. We're supposed to add it, or it's supposed to be in there ahead of time, which I still think is ridiculous.
So just to cover our,
It's too late. We can't do it after the fact, Bill. I know where you're going. Just, I
Okay.
wouldn't worry about it.
Whatever. Where are you?
okay,
Where are you?
we have to make a motion to add Peter then.
Yeah, what's
Yes, we do.
what's your address?
The first one is 3 Gravel Street.
Okay, so I will make a motion to add 3 gravel street to the pre-app agenda.
Goodrich second,
All in favor?
Paca, I.
Goodman, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Ferguson, I.
I do think it's ridiculous, because I just think if you're in here for pre-app, you're in here for pre-app.
Right, and you sign up and you're on the list.
Yeah,
If you just say, if you move on to pre-apps on the agenda, or you say, we're gonna take pre-apps. You think it would be covered without having to make a motion on every single one of them.
so you weren't here for that whole battle?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
You want to open it up again, or are we good?
'Cause now at least you're on our side. Because 30 years of doing it one way, I would have thought it was fine, but no one seemed to, from the town seemed to agree, but it's all right.
Of certain.
I would
people.
think that if you have the list and.
Well, because you can't
It
vote on
would
it.
be one thing, right, well, it would be one thing if there was no list and you were just taking them in, one on one.
But you also can't do anything. You just hear as a discussion.
Yeah, that's all it is. There's no
Well,
action on
We're
it.
the only HTC in Connecticut that does it different, by the way, because I researched them, but
Yeah. Whatever.
yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
what do you
he
wanna
was, pre-app, first pre-app has been approved, so, had a motion on, so.
All right, we ready? 3 Gravel Street. This was the Grover Insurance Building. Site plan is here. Let's see, I gotta orient myself. No,
Long skinny one.
those are my eyesight here, guys.
Well, does everyone know where it is?
Yeah, I do.
No word.
You're good.
Gravel Street, West
Yep.
Main Street.
So you know where that is?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm good.
So this building was recently purchased and the owner wants to change the present use, which is office use on the first floor. There's an apartment on the second and third floor. And he wants to change it to a hotel. So in doing that, we want to change some of the facade. So that's the way it looks today. This is the way it looks today. And then this is what we're proposing.
Dumb question.
Sure.
Is it zoned for a hotel over there?
Yeah, they have some steps they have to take, but yes.
Okay.
And he has been in communication with planning and Deb Jones regarding this.
Okay.
Yep.
Just figured before we
That's all right.
went down that road, that was a very important
fine.
question.
You just adding some cornice type thing?
So what we're doing, the front of the building right now, well, we'll call it the south side, it's the front of the building right here. We're gonna take the siding off. It's got either aluminum or vinyl on it. We're gonna take the siding off this area of the building here and do this storefront kind of appearance where you've got panels.
Can you
Peter,
zoom out a
if you just wanna, you gotta.
Oh, you zoom out? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Sorry, these look a little muddy, but we want to create essentially a storefront here so that it's more readable as a commercial building rather than a residential building. So we've got a series of panels and a pilasters to announce the front entrance and a frieze across the top, which you can see in 3D here. It projects out a little bit and becomes a place to mount some signage. It's be called the Mystic River Inn. But then the rest of the building, we're going to kind of leave untouched in terms of the exterior materials. At this time, there are some windows that we need to replace because they're single pane. We want to do probably a Marvin insert type window. Be the same light patterns, simulated divided light. And so the look will be about the same. This is existing right here, this piece of wall. And it's got clapboards on it right now, not clapboards, but vinyl siding. And we want to take the siding off of that, just make it a panel, and then they're going to put their hotel logo there as well. And then we're going to do a blade sign. I believe there's an existing bracket there. If not, no, this is a new bracket. And so the other idea that they have, I'm not sure I'm so wild about it, is they want to do these sort of faux post in the ground with the rope on them.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
A little kitschy.
Disney.
Okay, good. We're on the same page.
You agree? Okay.
Bill.
I'm laughing at Disney, sorry.
All right,
But
so
no.
I'll give them the bad news on that.
There you go.
Not the colors in your bailiwick, but we were gonna take the red brick foundation and paint it a darker gray color. And
I think you have to get the paint on the brick approved, surprisingly.
do we?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's something about covering masonry.
I don't know, I have to look at that and see.
I just-
Just thinking about, it, as soon as you said that, I
It
thought
rings a
there might be
bell.
something, I remember seeing something, but
It's gotta be.
I don't remember the
place,
detail for
three-room
it.
hotel, maybe.
I thought it
Yeah.
had something to do
Three-room
with,
hotel.
not painting, but like if
6.
you were to do a scratch coat, like a stucco over it or something. I remember reading something
3
about
up, 3
that,
down.
but I don't know
Very
about just
boutique, very,
painting.
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't cover the, I don't know, you might be right, I just have to look.
Yeah, I remember reading something about like stuccoing it or doing a scratch coat over it, but I'd have to look, I can't remember about painting, I'd have to look.
I remember that man-made materials, you had jurisdiction over the color of when you do man-made materials. Which would be anything other than wood, I guess. I remember reading that in the book.
No, we don't. Any color.
You don't have jurisdiction over man-made materials like wood. But if we had PVC or Hardy's, I think you do have jurisdiction.
I think we'll have to research it.
That would be-
You might want to look at it.
Yeah,
But as far as painting
don't
brick, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing that comes to mind is like encasing, coating it, scratch coating it or something.
see if I can
Another
find out
paint
later.
part of it.
So we're gonna leave the shutters on the front face here. There's none on the rest of it.
Weird, we have jurisdiction over material and color, tooling styles of grout joints, brick color and type and bond pattern. It doesn't say anything about painting brick. I just thought there was something there. Maybe you don't. I'm not opposed to it. I just,
It might be in a different section. I know there's something about color.
We'll research and get back to you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if you do have jurisdiction over it, we're looking at a darker gray color on the brick.
I don't think so. Wait.
The brick that's there now painted,
No,
it's not.
and we are coming in on a variance on this for flood zone, so.
Color that is integrated to any proposed unpainted construction material is regulated.
Sorry, can you say that again, please?
Color that is integral to any proposed unpainted construction material.
So if something has to be painted,
Well, I mean, I think of like a Hardy though, like it's gonna have to get painted at some point. So. Such materials may include brick, aluminum and vinyl siding, clad windows, asphalt, roof shingles.
Yeah, it's
So-
all man-made stuff. I mean, I've been going back to many commissions before you. It was basically any man-made material, they had choice of color. You had choice of color. So that's why you do shingles.
Shingles, I get, cause you
roof
can't,
shingles.
but siding, if someone wants to put on a wood siding and paint it any color versus,
I know, it didn't make a lot of. total
doesn't make a lot of
sense.
sense.
Yeah,
But if you get a Hardy siding and it comes blue, like. You can get cedar and paint it blue,
yeah,
but you
it's
can't
like
get Hardy.
cherry red. There's a house on Pearl Street that they painted. baby
Yeah.
blue and the garage is cherry red. It's like, it's wood, so you wouldn't have had any
Right.
control
But
over
if you
it,
bought the
it was-
Hardy?
But if it was hardy,
Okay,
you
well, that's,
would,
new.
so I don't know.
Deal with that later.
Mhm.
Anyways, sorry. So
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, and actually there's one other thing I didn't document yet, but there's a window here that we're gonna change out to a door because to get into the basement from the outside. So there'll be a door down low here instead of this window.
Is that on facing the street?
It faces north to the neighbor.
Okay.
You could probably see it from the street though.
I just have a question, maybe more for you. That building's pretty rough, so fixing up one side is gonna look kind of weird. Can we make them fix the whole thing? Because it's gonna be this mismatch of like, what are you gonna use? Cedar?
Probably not.
What are you gonna use? Cedar siding
Or
for that side you're gonna replace?
probably be PVC.
Siding?
Well, all we're replacing, Eric, is we're
Oh, you're just doing
to the
just a,
storefront.
so you're gonna leave the vinyl on the top?
Yeah. I've encouraged him to change the siding to party or something like that, and he said, well, maybe down the road I'll do that, but for now he wants to leave what's there.
Yeah, it's,
East facing as well?
It's all around.
Yeah.
All four sides have the vinyl.
it's just gonna look kind of,
Weird.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna look like we only
yeah,
fixed up part of the building. That's what you're trying to say.
yeah.
Well, I'll bring back that statement to him and see if I can get him to do the whole thing, but
I just think if you're gonna clean it up, it would be.
I agree.
I just find there's a tendency that when you see stuff like partially cleaned up, it then ends up
I
deteriorating.
mean, minimally, I think you should do this facade and this facade
Yeah,
as maybe a compromise,
so at least it looks,
presentable.
yeah.
Those are the most visible.
Yeah,
Well, I just, if you're gonna put that thing on, that, what do you call it, pilaster? If you're gonna do that cornice thing or whatever, you're gonna end up destroying all that siding on the top anyway, so
awesome. Yeah.
how are you not gonna put it back together? And, you know, like the corner boards and stuff, like that's gonna have to all get.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
So you're gonna have this like
challenge.
weird vinyl corner board mixed in.
I'll encourage him to.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not trying to make, I
point
just,
well taken.
yeah.
You know, he's a little scared of, the investment and he'll do things over time, but I think if I give him the word that, this would be a better deal to do right now,
Well, not,
he'll listen. He'll
I-
listen.
putting myself in if I was visiting, I'm sure a waterfront hotel in Mystic's not gonna be inexpensive. If it,
I don't think he's gonna have any trouble.
still, I just think, look, the business person.
You got $1 million on the inside.
He's a builder developer. He'll do it for less, but
Can I ask a technical question?
sure.
How many rooms?
6.
6? Do you have to do any kind of rearrangement for exit discharge anywhere?
Yeah, well, the doors can stay where they are, but some of the interior
Okay,
hallways
so
and
you
stairways.
reconfigure, but use the same
Yeah.
doors. That's, I was just wondering if the doors gotta be relocated anywhere on the
Not on
exterior of the
the,
building.
not on the exterior, other than what I mentioned here to get into the basement rather
Yeah.
than going through the building to get to the basement and come from outside.
You don't need ADA or anything?
One we can make one of the units ADA.
It's always gotta have.
Um,
It's
around the
basically, you
back.
put 6 rooms in that place. I didn't think you get that many in there.
That's a big building.
Yeah.
More than you think.
You're
And
not
I
gonna
think
put
we
a
gotta
pool
put
on the
spring,
top?
gotta put
Isn't
spring.
that
How'd you know?
isn't that the 6-room requirement?
Across
Put
the
a pool on
river
the top floor?
The one currently, on the
That's-
cease and desist.
with the 2 tall elevator.
Different side of the river, not our jurisdiction.
How did they even sign off the elevator shaft and everything? Whatever. that's
Yeah,
not-
That whole thing-
I can give you the kind of the chronological.
Didn't make
synopsis of
any
what happened
sense to
on
me.
it, but
Mm.
And I think we have to put sprinkler in here too.
That's gonna be my next question, yeah.
Shouldn't affect anything that you guys see.
No, just an FTC and all that stuff, but you can hide it somewhere.
All right, so I'm gonna encourage them to replace the siding at least on 2 facades. This whole storefront panel system would be PVC painted.
I think it'd be fine if it was part of a plan to. I just don't think you can do what you want to do without affecting areas around it. And I think it's
Okay.
gonna not be, I don't think it's gonna be completed to our standards
Okay,
without picking points larger than what you're planning on doing.
okay.
And that's not to force work, it's to just make it look.
I
Sure,
totally
yeah.
agree. Yeah. I think you should do the whole building.
That would be preferred. Just don't pick that other siding.
So if we do new siding, it'd be hardy. Like
Yeah.
PVC casings,
As long as you
historic
paint
sills.
Yep.
Because actually, in that photo, I don't know if you can tell very well, but when you see that how the siding comes to the windows, it's like, ugh, this is garbage,
it. Yeah,
you know. So, all right, good. Thank you. Anything else?
just maybe take the random shutters off the 4 windows that they still remain on. Are legal. It's kind of weird.
You
Whatever.
don't like the shovel?
I just think you got them on 4 windows in the end, and that's it.
I think a lot of times you see that on, some of the houses where they have the shutters on the main facade and then they don't have them around the other sides.
Yeah.
I think it adds a little bit of quaintness to the building that,
Ignore me.
okay,
Do what you
I
want.
will. Stupid development.
Don't ignore me when I call you. All right, next. I'm sorry, Bill, do you have anything?
No, everything looks good, thank you.
All I have is 2 Gravel Street, which is the pump station site.
I make a motion to add 2 Gravel Street to the agenda.
Goodman, I'll second. All in favor?
Becca, I.
Goodman, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
Ferguson, I.
So, as you know, there's been a lot going on here. Everything we're doing has been approved. But we want to do some additional things. One includes adding a flagpole to the site. And presently, there's concrete sidewalks that run along Gravel Street right here, orienting you. That's West Main Street, Gravel Street. This is the parking. This is the pump station. Owner would like to put a 35-foot flagpole right here, which is right at the edge of the walkway, the public walkway. Will look like this.
Want to slide over more so it's in the camera, Peter?
It's your camera operator. He's got-
Yeah, it's me.
Gotta be quicker.
Kind of like a mini replica of the one across the river.
It's not as tall. This
Right.
will be 35 feet. For reference, Central Hall is 55 feet tall, so it's not gonna be taller than that building. And then they would like to continue the pavers that they've already been approved for, which are here right now. Pull up the concrete sidewalk and put the pavers into these areas.
That's a town-owned sidewalk.
This whole property is town.
Okay, so who's taking care of the pavers, the town or the,
The
Developer.
condominium association will be responsible for maintaining all this stuff, and then, they've spent a fortune putting it into, so. Maintenance will be cheap at this point.
Can they do that?
What's that?
Can they replace a car? Isn't that
These are set up for, all kinds of vehicle traffic, because they drive up on there all the time. We got these approved. Public Works is involved
Yeah.
with approving all this.
yeah, but a private entity can tear up a public sidewalk and take responsibility for it?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
As long as what they're putting back is acceptable to Public Works, yeah.
When you say take responsibility, there's somebody trips and falls, I don't know where that goes.
No, what I'm saying is
Like
the
maybe
pavers start getting all
maintenance.
cattywampus. Who's fixing it? The condominium association
Yeah,
or?
maintenance.
Probably.
That would be something that would get worked out. When there was an agreement between Public Works and the proposal.
I don't know, this is even on us, but. What's going, I mean, is the flagpole just gonna be an American flag? Cause that gets back to that whole debate of like advertising on,
Yeah, I don't think there's any intention to do anything other than an American flag. And they may have some things on the halyards, here, but
that's not gonna be like,
flags. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be up all the time, they'd, come and go. As flags do.
no, there's just this whole debate over advertising in public. You know, with the stanchions.
So if they had a Central Hall flag up there, you would,
I
I
don't
don't know if
I
that's,
don't know that it's our thing, but I just don't know that, I know that you can't. There was that article recently about you can't advertise on, you can't have private
Right.
advertising on public property.
Then they made the chamber take everything down that was on.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
So I just, if that's,
it's a good point.
if that was on their property,
Yeah.
I don't put up a huge Brian Navarro in the air, whatever, but you know.
Yeah, I'll mention that to them, but I don't think that was gonna be anything more
it's
than
fine.
nautical flags and
Yeah, that's cool.
the American flag.
Peter, can I just ask? The sidewalk that's gonna go in is gonna be essentially a textured surface. It's not gonna be a smooth sidewalk. So if you do a textured curb ramp, how do you delineate between the sidewalk texture and the curb ramp?
It's a good question. I'm sure somebody's had to deal with this before, but the texture on those,
It's different.
on the mat is,
Yeah.
dots. So I don't know if somebody can detect the difference.
Yeah.
But
What about the borough though, where you've got like brick, you've got
What's that?
the borough, you've got brick, you got bluestone, you got concrete, you got. It's like asphalt in some places. It's not us, I'm just curious.
Yeah,
yeah, and these are handicap
they are
cuts here with
curb ramps.
with
Yeah,
the
that's what I
mat.
figured.
Yeah,
The one down the
it's
other
a good
end
question. I don't know.
goes into concrete, but the one that comes off of this end.
So when you're approaching the driveway, which is the danger zone,
Traffic.
you're going down the ramp and then you feel the end of the ramp at the mat.
Probably, is there there's substantial grade change there? I mean, ramp grade change anyway?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with, well. it does
Yeah, I
have
know
to
it's
do-
nothing to do with us.
No, 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 but this is just an interesting observation. I just came back from Europe and at the last hotel I was at, which was in. Like it was in Provence in France, so in the countryside. And all the landings to a stairwell, this is in the hotel, there was a dotted, like they had put metal dots in the floor, like bumps.
Oh, so that.
So that
the
you
cane would hit it.
knew if you wouldn't fall down the staircase. I
Hmm.
thought it was really interesting. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's a good point, because
So if you were walking down the hallway, you wouldn't
you're
just like
blind or
turn to the
handicapped,
right and fall down the
and there's
stairs.
an open stair there. What's to stop you?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
We don't have that here, but
Yeah.
I just thought it was really interesting
Huh.
when you were saying that.
Okay,
I
any
don't,
other
I don't.
comments?
I mean, I'm not against it. I just think more detail, like you said, no private advertising flags going up. Make sure the taxpayers aren't the ones maintaining the beautiful pavers. But except for that, I don't have a problem with it.
I know there's a lot of agreements between Central Hall, Public Works, planning and everything for parking and all kinds. So, it's.
I'm sure there is.
Their agreement schedule is pretty advanced.
There are lots of attorneys involved.
Yeah.
Make the world go round, right, attorneys?
Yeah.
And then I have one more.
Oh, you do? Sorry.
So,
I have nothing on that last one. Everything looks good, but I am curious about the pavers. That's really, I don't know why. I don't understand how they could put in pavers but not accept the liability aspect. That's all I'm thinking of.
That's for the attorneys.
Correct, but it's on my mind.
Zoom in a little bit.
This is 1 Water Street, the old Densmore building. This is for signage. This is what the Densmore building looked like. They've already painted the storefronts black. That was all wood material, so you guys didn't have any jurisdiction there.
Didn't even know.
We want to take the shutters off. Okay, so you can see it without the shutters here. This is the proposed sign. And these are some proposed lights to light the sign. And actually that round window's not there, that we're gonna keep the half round that's there. Sign is 5 feet by 30 inches. It's made out of AZAC. And it's got white letters that have a profile to them. In other words, they're slightly raised. They got dimension to them. And then this little piece down here is apparently carved. That's what the detail says. So it'll be mounted on a board on the siding.
So is that scale pretty close?
Looks like it's a little bigger than,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it says 5 feet by 3 feet on here. 5 feet by 30 inches. That looks more like 7 feet, 6 or 7.
I think those windows were like 4 feet wide.
It's not my drawing.
Wide.
guys. You can compare it to that, I suppose. So it'll probably look smaller than that.
what are the size of other similar signs in town, do we know?
What's that?
What is the lengths of some of the other?
Oh, I don't know about lengths. No, the zoning wise, it's.
I think you're allowed 1 square foot per 1 linear foot, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there's a formula for building area size. Buildings over a certain size can up to,
Just because I'm on a small screen, does that say boost bowls?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Did we have? Did we make a motion to add this?
what's that?
Did we make a motion to add this?
Bill did. I
Okay.
think.
I'm just.
I don't know if
sorry.
anybody seconded it or anything, but he did.
All right,
Did you?
I thought I made a motion. Or
You
was
did.
that a previous one? So I'll make a motion to add this one then. Goodrich second.
Goodrich second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor.
All in favor.
All in favor. It's in trouble here, Peter.
are you looking up the sign regs?
No, I was looking at the size of the windows. Just so you could show it, but I don't know. what the
These
numbers-
windows here?
Yeah,
Well, I can count blackboards. So they're 20 times 4.
80.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I think they were like 4 feet wide, from what I remember.
4 feet?
Alright.
Man, still, the picture windows down bottom are probably 4 feet wide.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No,
Those are probably.
Maybe when you come back, you can just.
34.
Sure, I-
Properly.
if you want,
Um,
bring the scale drawing with me.
I don't think it's an issue at all, but I don't think you ever got approval for the fencing around the air conditioner. The handrail.
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
We came in for the initial building, then I came in a second time for that,
Okay, as long as
and
you,
then something else. I forget what.
not a problem.
And there was an approval for a planter out front here that you guys saw and approved.
Sorry, those actually windows were 52 inches wide.
Down bottom?
Yeah, so that's,
Four
if it's
foot
5
four.
feet, it's almost. It's a little wider than one window. They're 62 inches tall.
Yeah, so it'd probably be more.
Yeah.
So just so you know, we're trying to come up with a different solution for this planter because it. I think when the plantings are in there, what was specified are gonna block out the windows and it's gonna obscure their visibility.
Is a
So-
planter required?
The planting area was required
Okay.
and the 2 street trees. So we're gonna brainstorm another way to do it, but we'll come back when we got that worked out.
Have you seen the ones at the standard? They go like
What's that?
street trees that had to go in
Yeah.
because we were set back 4 feet or whatever. So they put some maples.
You're proposing two to make it a little bit symmetrical, but you were only required to do one.
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah,
All right, that's
which I
good to
think
know.
would be like even more awkward. Just having one lone tree
Right
out
in the
there,
middle.
kind of.
Right in the middle.
I just don't know. If
Charlie
you
Brown
go
tree.
a 0 setback, why, if you set it back a little bit, why do you have to? What's the point of putting the tree in? If it was set back 20 feet, I get it.
Yeah, right.
Well, some
Just
trees, the more vertical habit that you. gotta
That's
figure-
what the thought process is the
You would any,
canopy up above type thing, not a tree you gotta walk around, you know?
yeah, but if you only set back 5 feet,
It's a little bonsai.
what are you gonna
Yeah,
get?
yeah,
You know, one of those ones from like Tuscany that goes.
yeah, right. You don't have any room between the buildings.
No.
It's gonna be 5 feet wide and 45 feet tall.
Yeah,
The planter was like sitting height, like chair height. So it would have, it would come up about the windowsill. And I'm not sure how we would have pulled that off with the dirt against the wood.
Just
So
to
we'll
get
do that.
clarification on the lighting, is it just kind of like an arch that like almost like a hook upside down? Oh, can you, I can't see it.
Slide.
Bring it
There's
a
the
little bit,
wall.
bring it this way a little bit.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right. I just wanted to get a sense of what it was like. Thank you.
I think we're fine.
Okay,
Look, yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to get a sense of what. I couldn't get a sense from the drawing itself, so.
all right. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Dougie.
No, don't worry about it. We'll if they're withdrawn,
I'll
they're
get you
withdrawn, it's no big deal.
The MISA?
Yeah.
Okay, did it work?
I have money.
Well, I have faith you will make it work. You better make it work. Public communications. Nothing.
I mean, the only public communication you and Tom knew about was the blue kayak, but. Or Tim and Tom's take care of that, so that's all I had.
Approval of the minutes, I would table this until Ted's back, because he checks them better than
Anybody?
any of us do. Unless anyone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes, otherwise we can just wait. No,
Fine waiting.
okay. So
Fine.
We thought that's probably what was gonna happen.
what?
I said, we thought that was
Yeah.
probably what was gonna happen.
Especially because I wasn't here for either of those either.
Ted's pretty particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
See you, Peter.
Any old business? I do have, can I do mine first?
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked a while ago about changing I just have to find it, sorry, changing the language relating to signs, and that was about that lit sign. So I'm supposed to meet to go over the handbook next week. with
Yeah,
you.
sometime.
Yeah,
When John's
Rich.
back, make an appointment.
Yeah,
So just to follow up on that, zoning regulations don't allow that at all. Any kind of projection shine or anything, so if you did it, I mean, I understand if you want to do it, but it's gonna be redundant to zoning
Yeah,
regulations.
I think it's what I would propose is a pretty minor change, so, on page 2-48, there's the last paragraph that said internally lit translucent plastic signs. I think it said neon signs. And something, something, something. So I would just change that sentence to say internally lit translucent plastic signs, flashing signs, neon signs, and digital display signs are inappropriate and shall not be approved.
Agreed.
And then there was a sentence 3 in that said neon signs would be considered on an individual basis, but there are no neon signs, and we're not approving neon signs, so
I'd say
I just strike.
we strike it. Yeah, I agree.
So is everyone okay with me making that change when I meet with them next week?
I am.
I am.
I am.
So I'll just make that change.
Okay. Send it over and forward it to Rich and have him
Yeah.
plug it in or look at it, whatever you want.
I'm just gonna email this to you right now, just so you have it.
Okay. I'll send it over to him. Yeah, I think they're trying to coordinate a time to meet with you, or just wait for John to get back from vacation.
Yeah,
I
I
was going
actually,
back and forth with Rich a bunch today about stuff. That was one of the things.
if you, like I told you, just propose a couple times and I'll try to make it work.
So
This
it's
stuff-
it's in Reiner's court now.
Okay, I just got back and stuff was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I didn't say no.
I can move it around. if I have something scheduled, I can just send one of the guys or something, but.
It shouldn't even take that long, I wouldn't think. They're pretty,
Hold on.
so anyways, that answers that one. And then,
So under old business, you weren't here. Are you all set?
yeah, that was it.
So the guys that were in for the pre-app tonight, we put a cease and desist order on them. They moved ahead without building permits, without HDC approvals. You weren't here, but I explained to the commission last week. We explained when they came in to get their building permit, they showed me their spec sheets of what they were doing. I explained to them then that vinyl windows and grills between the glass. So that we encouraged them to come in for the pre-app, and I guess it was pretty much a cart before the horse thing. So I think it's pretty consistent with the way the board has been reviewing these things.
And I don't think I was as direct as you, but I even said, I think some of the commission members said I may or may not be voting as some of the commission members will have issues with the windows.
Yeah, right.
I think that, well, I know for a fact the duty is always on the owner of the property to pull the permit, not the contractor.
Yeah, they're the
So
ones
even if the
responsible.
contractor doesn't do it, the duty's still on
Yep.
the owner. But I also think in a scenario where someone made a mistake, as they have in the past, and they're using approved or previously approved or allowed materials, we just work through the process and that's it. But if you're coming with something that's clearly not allowed or been voted on, whether or not they came in the normal procedure or they came after the fact, it's just not allowed.
Right. I mean, I have a tendency to be a little more forgiving if they come and ask first and then something is slightly different. But when you don't come at all, and then you come reeling in and want building permits and want this, that's my position
Yeah.
on it is kind of firm.
I also think it looks like garbage now. It's gonna just continue to look like garbage if you're.
And I additionally have concerns further with the details, the vinyl windows that they put in. They hogged out a 3.5-inch strip of the asbestos siding, and they just put a 2x4 perimeter around it. And in my experience, that typically gets wrapped with metal. That doesn't get painted or something like that. So that was another concern that they didn't detail. So
I was kind of at the end of the last meeting when they were showing, I said, what's going on with the trim? And he goes, we're gonna match it. I said it multiple times, so it's like for like, because I was looking at two and it looked like a 2x4 or a plank.
yeah. So there was a number of things going on with that, but
It also, isn't there like an egress issue too?
as far as.
I don't think any of those met egress for.
So the way it works is if you're putting a replacement window in, you have to, the insert has to be as large as possible. You can't reduce the size, but you're not required to go up to egress sizing unless you're taking the frame and everything out and you're doing a new construction window. If it's a new construction window, then they have to meet, egress.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep, that's how you can get away with doing that.
It's funny because like the Marvin and the Anderson replacement windows is really just a new construction window with no nailing flange.
Yeah,
There's
they just
nothing. They just take the nailing.
take it
flange
off. Yeah,
And you just plop it in.
yeah.
below.
Screw it through the sides.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that for that. The other thing was the next item, which is the 54 West Main, which we can have a discussion about it if you guys want. If you want to wait till your other two members come back, that's up to you.
But I think from what I understand at this point, you're just looking for us to tell you why it was denied.
Yes, Rich is looking for, yes, he wants, so I sent him the meeting, the minutes, the video and the minutes. And he said, I can't quite understand the reason, an exact reason it was denied. And I need an exact reason it was denied and what would be approved or what would be a correction that would be approved, a correction on the application.
So I'm gonna give the reason I think, and then maybe everyone can just, if you completely disagree, please chime in, Bill too. If you don't, and you want to tweak what I'm saying, let me know. If you don't like it at all, let me know. But from what I believe, from what we've said over the meetings, it was the fact that zoning required 36 inches. That is not 36 inches. So anything that we would have approved would have had to have been at or higher than 36 inches. Typically, we've also only approved fences that have rigid posts and are some way held vertically in a fashion that they can't just be pushed over or disrupted or changed. I think that's really it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It just doesn't have the partitions is what I call them. I don't know if that's the right term, but the partitions between each fence length to support each fence length.
I think that I turned that to Richard's posts Eric brought up.
It's not.
Yeah. I think it's not
Yeah,
about
that's fine.
design per se. It's about, it doesn't meet the minimum height that would be required for us to vote anyways. And it has no mechanism to hold it in place to ensure that it's going to remain in place properly.
Of permanency, yeah.
All right, so if that's a board consensus, can you maybe put that in a
Sure.
1-sentence email? Then I can forward to Rich, so it doesn't get
2 sentences?
2 sentences, whatever you gotta do. I'm just saying you don't have to write a dissertation on it, just that way it won't get misconstrued between me and him, between me and there.
There are some posts, not the ones right on the street. But if you look farther back, there are a couple of posts holding the panels together. Some are bent.
Oh.
So I would suggest consistent posts like throughout the whole fencing.
Yeah,
I would say posts. Something wrong of permanency, something that's,
post dividing fence sections.
but one that's got a little permanency to it, not like a post that you just knock into the ground. Does that make sense?
An anchored post.
Anchored post, well
Yeah.
put.
That's fine.
So do you have enough to put a
Yeah.
couple sentences together too?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think the concern has always been the height and the fact that it's not.
Well, I thought the most recent application did detail 36 inches. Didn't his spec come in at 36?
It can't because you wanted to reuse what was there. And that's not 36.
No, I thought he bought all new stuff. I thought what was up had been taken down and replaced with 36. I could be wrong, but I thought that was what the case was. So he had put up the 36 without an approval.
I don't know that we even approve a 36-inch fence because the typical fences that we approve are 42 or 48 or 54. I don't know that if he came with an application for like, say he came for an application hypothetically with a black aluminum standard, like the fences that we see throughout town. I'm not sure that we would even approve one at 36. Because we never have approved one at 36 before. It may be, I mean, I'm just speculating, but it
Yeah.
may be too dainty, too small. It may not go with the style of the street. It may not go with, with things
Yeah.
we've approved before. So I'm just saying that if zoning requires it to be a minimum of 36. Just because he hits 36 doesn't mean that necessarily we would have approved it. But if I would be willing to say if he came back with a black wrought iron, a wood fence, a black aluminum fence with posts at 42 inches. Assuming it's not some
Fine.
crazy design, I don't think that there would be any issue approving that. And if he had put the fence in that was in the plans, it would have been fine.
All right, so you'll put a couple sentences or a paragraph together
Yeah.
for me? Appreciate it.
Does everyone agree with that?
I do. Bill,
I do. Yes, agreed.
You look a little burnt there.
A lot of bird.
good Sunday up full solo, huh?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can do that tomorrow.
All right, I don't have anything else, not that I can think of.
I did just have one question about one property. I saw that. I think it's Rathbun Street, kind of around the corner from my house. It looked like they had like ripped the windows out and such. I just happened to be driving by. I don't know.
You don't know,
20,
have a number?
I think it's 25 New London Road, technically.
25 New London Road.
That just sold
That's-
recently. That's that.
Yes,
The one where they're
I was
putting-
just did an inspection there the other day and I asked them. So this is what's going on. He said he has an HDC approval to do the windows. So the windows that had been taken out, the little vinyl ones that are in there are only temporary until the special order windows come in.
Okay, just maybe, can you just confirm?
I'll double check on that
I
because as
remember-
soon as I walked up and saw those, I said, oh my God, what are you doing? I said, I said the HDC is gonna, go crazy if they see this.
I
He's like,
remember,
oh no, we have approvals for it. She went and got an approval.
I remember approving the AC compressor with the
I don't remember the
The
window.
mini splits. I don't remember the windows. Do you?
The mini splits one, that was up further.
Okay.
That was
a
up
different
further. That
house then.
was closer to the firehouse on the same side of the road.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
can't remember the number, but it was up further.
I didn't think they were gonna leave those little vinyl things inside the piece of plywood,
Yeah,
but, and I also know that the builder generally follows.
Rosetto, he's pretty good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I didn't really think much of it. I just was kind of more curious. you
Yeah,
know, Did I miss something or whatever?
yeah, because I did it's a kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel. I did the roughs in there just this past week. I think Monday,
Yeah,
and I noticed it too, first thing. I'll follow up on it to make sure they do.
I think that was it. And just because you had the discussion with us about that A-frame signs. So what, just to be clear, A-frame signs on private property are fine as long as they
Up
meet.
to a certain size. Yeah.
Okay. But if they put them in the public space, you can't have it.
Nope.
But no one's really policing it.
Complaint driven?
Okay.
So without naming any particular names.
Yeah,
If hypothetically, somebody put an A-frame sign next to the sign on the corner of where the bookstore is. Where there's
Yeah.
all those signs anyhow, and let's say the Chamber of Commerce said it's okay, they don't have the right to do that, right? Because that's public space.
I don't know where the property line is there, who owns
All right,
what.
because that was one of the other ones on.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
The
don't know the detail
bookstore,
there.
that one's weird. It's
Yeah.
actually way farther out.
Is it the property line is
The property line's a lot closer to the road than
kind
you-
of probably follows the perimeter of the sidewalk or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
I
all
don't know.
that-
I'd have to see where the public, some of this stuff you start splitting hairs. That's why a lot of it's really only complaint driven. And
Right.
then we try to work it out. We don't go in there kicking over tables and shooting out lights. We try to say, hey, can we find a better place for this? And,
Right,
never heard that one. That's funny.
I did have one more question. one more thing under old business, or this is actually not under old business, new business. Bill, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about that High Street house with the fence that Tom
Tom
had.
is still working on
Still-
that. Yeah,
okay.
I think he was sending a second letter, or Rich wanted him to send a second letter.
Okay.
I talked to him about it regularly, but yes, that's still on the radar.
I do actually have one more for you too. Sorry.
Okay.
424 High Street, which is still in the historic district. That got a bunch of work done to it, but they never came.
What did it have done?
It looked like there's some fencing outside and some work on the front.
Take a look at it. It's not ringing a bell to me.
The only reason I noticed is because
Is that on the east side or west side?
it's like the last house in the historic district, right by across from the trailer park. It's a 3-family.
Is that the one that was empty? Is it empty? And that big dumpster in the yard?
Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
family that recently sold, right?
yeah. The only reason I know is because I was going to buy it, and I drove by the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I did a bunch of work, cool."
Right.
And that was it. But then I
I
realized
saw the dumpster there and like nothing caught my eye as being like exterior renovation.
I know
It
there's
looked
some,
like there was a lot of cleanup because the place was kind of a mess.
it was a dump,
Yeah,
total dump. But they put they put a tall fence in the front yard,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
off to the right, and I think they did some stuff to the front of the house, but I was driving by, so I didn't really catch it. But
look at it. So. Is it you all set?
yeah, I'm done.
So. I don't know if everybody had a chance to go through the agenda packet today. But the dive bar sign itself.
Mhm.
From a historic district commission approval sign concept, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. Sorry to cut you off, but I think it was really cool, and it goes with a lot of historic signs throughout New England. As long as it's reasonable and tame and not overly bright, but that's why when you were against it, I was kind of surprised.
I disagree. I don't think it fits the building. I think it opens Pandora's box. So then, I mean, they had flashing neon lights in the 40s too. So then,
Yeah, well, I mean, zoning regulations clear,
Right,
they're
right.
clear about flashing and neon and the limitations that go along
I
with
mean, you
that.
might think this is silly, but they used to, he provided historic signs from the 30s. We also used to dump raw sewage in the river in the 30s.
Yeah,
We-
yeah.
We don't do that anymore. So I
Just
I
what
appreciate-
what are we talking about? You broke up in my end for a second. What sign?
There was a sign being proposed for the dive bar. That was
Oh.
like a bulbed sign here. Let me see if I can
Kinda
show
like a-
you.
30s bulbed.
Can you?
Can you share?
Just like,
Oh, zooming in.
yeah. See that?
Oh, that's horrendous.
Bill, I love you, man.
But so here's my only thing on it, and I don't know, is that it was on the sign, the old Strand Theater, which was in Mystic. It was on the other sign. For whatever the service thing was, I don't know,
So we looked at it, me and Tom looked at it, and like, from a nostalgia standpoint, yes, it probably has like some nostalgia, but we didn't know about historical appropriateness. And the reason I'm asking is because first of all, it was lighted, it was duly considered a lighted sign. It has all the bulbs in it and everything, and they said, no way, we're not gonna get into start doing lighted signs, and then the next thing you know, we have backlit signs and.
but is it lighted just like there'd be a light illuminating on it? It's not,
Because the light, well, if you look in the zoning regulations, the way it's lit is the lighting can't be part of the unit. You can have indirect and non-connected lighting. And it also has to be downward facing or flow cut off lighting. Kind of like what Peter just proposed for those lights that are gonna shine on the front of that sign. I talked to Dan
I saw
Miser
that
about.
sign- I saw that sign is lit up. Is that a solid piece of wood that has exterior lighting on it? Or is it a
Little
sign that has bulbs in it?
Screwed in
Yeah, little
bulbs.
screw
It's gonna have bulbs in it all the way around it.
I mean, so you guys might laugh when I saw that sign and we approved that. I had visions of, you know, in that movie, A Wonderful Life, when like Bedford Falls turns to the Potterville and he's running down the street, there's a whole downtown full of tacky lights. I mean, maybe over the top, but that was the first vision that went into my head if we started approving lighted signs.
Yeah, so. After we went around it in our office for zoning purposes, I called Dan Meisner and I talked to him about it. And he said, well, can you send me the regulations and kind of, so I can figure out what I have to do to try to make it zoning compliant? And I said, I will. I said, I'm gonna feel out the HDC tonight too, to see where their take is on it, as just far as concept.
Could he do the sign and just illuminate it from a light on the building?
That's what he would have to do. I think if you look at one of the pictures that were there from the old signs, that's what's going on. There's an overhead light that shines down on it.
Yeah, the old.
I don't know if he'd get the effect that he wants, because the thing is kind of shadow boxed. If you look at some of the pictures on it.
Well, if he took the shadow box out and just made the
The other
letters.
thing, I mean, if he illuminated it, remotely illuminated it, and he shined them like this, he might be okay.
But then
that's
you're gonna
what-
have some weird,
What's
I
that?
guess, I don't know.
I mean, it would be real, it would have to be looked at for as far as light spray, as far as, you know, how far it would go, because you're only allowed to go 6 feet, you know.
I think this is the first one that everyone disagrees with me, so
Yeah, I know. Geez, we need to write this one
Yeah.
down in the logbook.
might be time to retire.
And that's really helpful, because now I'm not gonna go away with like a unanimous opinion.
So
Yeah.
Eric, do you remember you were mentioning earlier about the Mystic Museum of Art wanted that sign that had lights? on it?
That was a TV screen, bud. That wasn't a sign.
Okay, but I mean, it was going to be a sign because you're right, it was the TV screen that, but I just feel like it's in that same genre personally, because it's something that's lit up and not wood or solid, it doesn't have to be wood, but just a solid thing that's exterior lit.
The only reason why I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
is
no.
I think a digital sign where the sign is lit from behind whatever the plastic or material is, that can either change or not change, is a lot different than something that like,
Okay.
this has signs with bulbs in them have a history in America, so I don't think it's something that clearly was invented in the 60s, 70s, 80s, something like that. So, but I understand what you're saying, and I don't know that, I don't know that if every business started throwing these things up through town, it would look right either, but
And to me, if it was a building, an Art Deco building or a building in the 30s, it'd be more appropriate, where
Yeah.
this is.
That's it, that building was 1853 or something, I
Right.
think we
Yeah.
looked it up today.
you're
Yeah.
probably right about that, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, that says almost as bright as his sunburn. Sorry, couldn't resist, Bill.
I just think there's a lot of history of signage in America, and I think there's a lot of different, there's been a lot of different things, and sometimes I think, I don't know, it's art.
I mean, Office Wyatt, that was kind of the consensus too. Everybody's like, that's cool. And then people go, in Mystic,
Yeah.
it was both, there were both opinions around the office regarding it.
But the concept was here. I mean, that Mercury service, that looks like a neon sign from the 50s. The Strand one, that's clearly a bulbs. That's
Yeah.
clearly like what he wants to do. That was here.
Well, that's an Art Deco period where stuff was being
Yeah.
imitated nationwide,
And-
Yeah,
And according to my dad, Modern Grill had a neon sign in its front window too, but we don't allow neon anymore too, so. Again, where do you draw that line,
no, I wouldn't scream and yell if you voted no. I thought it was cool, but I think if he wants to do the sign without the bulbs, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem.
remote illumination.
I'd vote for a sign without the bulbs.
All right. That's what I'll pass along to him. Appreciate your discussion on it. That's all I got.
Anyone else? Kool-Aid Man?
No, I'm sitting outside on
Getting
Fire
more
Island. This- People are confusing me with the sunset, but no, no, it just started to rain and the deer running around the lawn and I'm just taking it all in and enjoying this. So
All right, well then we will adjourn so you can enjoy.
yeah, I am. You guys, good meeting. Have a good night, everybody.
You too, Bill.
See you, Bill. Thank you.